And welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm going to be talking about something that's very, very Christmas related. So if you don't celebrate it, you may want to just pass. There's a lot of things about Christmas and a lot of discussion, a little bit about the religious imagery. Not that I'm religious, but it comes up in what we're about to talk about. So if you're not into that, my apologies in advance. There are people who talk about some of the more obscure Christmas movies in their lives. I remember a TV channel we had here. They always have a Christmas tradition of Santa and the Martians. And there are those who think that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So along that kind of a line, I wanted to talk about a cartoon that I remembered as a kid. Same with my wife, she remembers it too. And nobody seems to talk about it, so I wanted to bring it up. I'll just hit play on it right now. It looks very space age, very alien, and that's because it is. As you can tell from the title above, this is a cartoon that has space and Christmas combined in an unusual way. It's A Cosmic Christmas. This came out in the Christmas season of 1977. And it's a cartoon that I remembered seeing a few times up here in Canada because it turns out it's a Canadian production. And you can sort of tell sometimes in the making of the show. Peter is the main character. We follow his exploits as he wanders around his town. And he has his pet, Lucy, who is a Canada goose. Now, this was a production, it was the very first cartoon made by a company called Nelvana Animation Studios, or just Nelvana, who would later go on to do the Care Bears. So they are, they became quite a big animation studio house. And this was their very first production, and they did it for the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, up here in Canada. It was just a neat kind of cute space aliens coming to Earth for Christmas type of thing. We'll get into the actual storyline in a moment. But I didn't realize growing up watching this that it was a Canadian production. It's only through researching it later that I found these things out. Now, I wanted to also ask my wife, what were your memories of A Cosmic Christmas?
Well, I remember watching it, a few times, and I always did know that it was a Canadian production, and even though it's very dated and that, I've always really enjoyed this particular kind of Christmas cartoon. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then it went off the air, and I had no idea where it was, and had tried looking around for it.
Well, actually, I'll get to where you can get this later. There is actually a way to buy this in this modern time, but we'll get to that in a sec. So, in a nutshell, to briefly summarize the story, 3 space aliens come to Earth in some small town Canada place. It's not really specified. Because they wanted to find out what was that star about 2,000 years ago. A lot of worlds noticed it, and they have come to Earth to find out the reason behind it. So Peter tells them, "Oh, you mean the Star of Bethlehem? That's when that heralded the birth of Jesus, and we celebrate his birthday." And so the aliens conclude, "Oh, we must be here for Christmas then. What is Christmas?" And it's a little short story that talks about what Christmas means to Peter and his family, and then how the local kids, who are sort of the punks, the villains of the story, defy a lot of that. And so it's an introspection of peace and charity and goodwill toward men. How come none of that's happening in your little town? It's one of those kind of discussions, and it's very, very good. It still holds up today. I mean, it's a little cheesy in times, but it's very sweet. And if you get a chance to check it out, I highly recommend it. I have seen it on YouTube. It may be taken down by now. It was a year or two ago that we watched it. I think when was it that we watched it? Was it 2 years ago? Or last year?
No, I think it was actually last year.
Was it last year? Okay, yeah. So with luck, it'll still be out there. Then you can watch it. But if not, I'll actually put a link down below as to where you can actually buy this. Now, you're probably wondering, why is the picture quality so poor on this? It's because it only exists, to the searches I've done, on VHS. You can't even get it on DVD. And the VHS that it comes on is actually not called A Cosmic Christmas. It's a 2 shows on 1 tape thing. The actual link will mention The Littlest Angel and Cosmic Christmas. And apparently, according to the Amazon reviews, most people buy it just to be able to see A Cosmic Christmas. They're the 3 aliens. Now, there's a reason I'm wearing this shirt. This is a Canada. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and this is a shirt that kind of does a little parody of the Star Wars idea with a Vancouver theme. It says things like "May the forest be with you," and it's kind of a bear and a moose as Darth Vader, that kind of stuff. It's a good laugh. I decided to wear this because there's a very good reason. Some people might recognize this animation style. It's very fluid, it's very simplified, and yet very distinctive. I think maybe that's why when they went on to do the Care Bears, they were so successful. But any Star Wars fan may not be all that surprised to find out that the people, Nelvana, who made A Cosmic Christmas, also did the cartoon in the Star Wars Christmas special, which I find shocking because they're a Canadian company, I think out of Toronto, and it's impressive to me that George Lucas apparently saw this in the Christmas of 1977, and he petitioned or inquired to these guys, would you make a cartoon for my Star Wars Christmas special that I'm going to do, which came out the following year. I think it was the following year. Anyway, so there's a very interesting kind of combination there of something that was made for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, caught the attention of George Lucas. He got those guys to do the cartoon section of the Star Wars Christmas special, the only good part, everybody agrees. So I just thought that was kind of cool. As somebody who enjoyed the cartoon as a kid, it's got a connection to Star Wars, and it's got a Canadian element to it. So I just found that a kind of a very cool moment for me. What did you think?
Well, this is the first time I've heard that they
right?
that they actually had a connection with the Star Wars Christmas special.
Yeah.
I barely remember that, but
You're lucky.
probably for a good reason. But no, I actually kind of was looking at the animation, and especially like the mayor's hair and sort of stuff kind of reminded me of the animation to the Yellow Submarine with the blue meanies.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
They may have been inspired by that kind of thing, because it is very exaggerated. Like, you know, that kind of effect that they have. They do weird things. People pull on their faces and it bounces back like rubber. And the proportions are completely out of whack. It's a very unusual art style that they came up with.
Yeah, as I said, very, very similar to the art style that they had done in the Yellow Submarine. Yeah.
Anyway, so that is our Christmas, not really tradition, because we only found the movie just recently, but we remember it as kids. So I think this is going to become our Christmas tradition.
I think so too.
Yeah. So just thought we'd share that with you all, and Merry Christmas to everybody, and yeah. There's the mayor you were talking about.
Yep.
Again, there's a lot of religious overtones to this. It was 1977, so I think any desire on behalf of the CBC to be more open to different religions and different groups in Canada hadn't really happened yet. So you do get a lot of talk about Bethlehem and Jesus, and there are religious imageries of like angels and stuff. But if you're okay with that, if you embrace that as part of the spirit of Christmas, it's an adorable film, and I really, really like it. And I recommend either check out the link below for where you can buy the VHS if you still have a videotape player, or have a look on YouTube, or I'm sure there are other places that you can find A Cosmic Christmas. I'm not sure. Anyway, I believe that's everything. So we'll wish you a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you down the rabbit hole.
Merry Christmas, everyone.